Hey, what's going on, everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are finally back after basically 6 months, because I checked before we started recording. It's been since December since we've actually recorded a Pioneer Showdown. I'm so ready to be back. I'm here with Hunter. How's it going, Hunter?
It goes great. I'm very excited to be back as well and start making these videos again, because there's been a lot of spicy cards that have been printed since we have last sat down and played, which means there's a lot of good deck opportunities in the future.
I know. I'm so ready for this. So a little bit of like backstory too with this. So essentially, we've just been really busy with, like, our actual lives. You know, like, obviously, we had, like, the holiday season going on, and, like, winter is winter, and where we live, the winters can be really bad, so sometimes we just can't meet up sometimes. Then there's been, like, the Pioneer RCQ season, so, you know, we've been going to a lot of RCQs and such. So there's just been a lot going on, which that's the main reason why we haven't actually been able to record any episodes. But I can say, like, the episodes will be more consistent going forward for sure. So at least when we're recording this, it's July 2nd. I do plan on pushing this video up a little bit more, because for those who don't know, I record the videos ahead of time, and then they kind of, you know, like, don't get uploaded for at least like a week or two, and then I finally upload them. But all right, so before we also hop into our decks, what we're playing today is there's actually some construction going on right now that's like in the building I currently am at right now. So, like, if you hear some random, like, saws or drills or anything in the background, I just figured I would mention that. So, all right, let's go and talk about our deck today. So, obviously, you saw the thumbnail. So, Hunter, I'll let you go ahead and start. What are you playing today?
We are playing Gruul Blitz. It is going to basically be just a lot of prowess and pseudo-prowess creatures. The deck really came together in a couple of different formats because of the card Slickshot show-off. So it's kind of based around, like, trying to get your Slickshot show-off to be like a Kiln Fiend and just make it go big and kill your opponent with it, but it's also got a lot of the other Blitz aspects to it as well.
Okay, yeah, I dig it, man. Actually, I just thought about that. I never thought about that. Slickshot's basically a Kiln Fiend. That never actually came across.
It's just a better Kiln Fiend.
It is a better Kiln Fiend. I never actually thought about that. So, but anyways, okay. So, I am playing Stampede Dinosaurs. So, obviously, I've been playing Dinosaurs a lot here on the channel. I think this is technically the third time I've played Dinosaurs for Pioneer Showdown. And so this is actually a deck that was created by Tarzan/Arfy Games. I will leave a link to his channel in the description. He's actually the one that's created this deck. So the idea with the deck is you play Sunken Citadel and Castle Garenbrig. Essentially, in this deck, they're like, it's kind of like soul lands, almost kind of like Tron as well. You want to assemble those lands and then play some big fat dinosaurs that just end the game pretty much immediately. The Wombo combo is like you play Galta Stampede Tyrant, you put all your dinosaurs into play, and like you play a bunch of haste enablers, then you just like swing for like 40. It's kind of ridiculous. So that's the deck that I'm playing today. It's essentially pretty close to his current list he's playing, with like a couple different changes or like cards he's tried in the past that I kind of like that I wanted to play. But largely, this is his list. And once again, the link for his YouTube channel will be in the description below. So, okay. So, before we hop into it here too, we're going to be playing 4 games today. For those who are not familiar, we're going to play 2 pre-boarded games and 2 post-boarded games. When we do all of our sideboarding, we're going to talk about what we're bringing in, what we're taking out, and why. And for those who are also unfamiliar, so with our plays, we're not playing open-handed per se, but there's going to be situations where, depending on what the board state looks like, we're going to explain our plays, but as if still like our opponent or each other doesn't know what's actually in our hand and stuff like that. I just wanted to mention that before we hop into here. So, okay, well, we're going to hop into game number 1, and we'll see you in just a second. Okay, so we are ready for game number 1. We're going to go in high roll here. We're going to see who goes first. Oh, it's not going to be me. Okay.
That is more.
All right, you taking the play then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, so we're both keeping 7 here. My hand is looking all right. It's got, you know, like some of the lower stuff like Commune and Sylvan Scrying to be able to assemble the lands that we need. So, yeah, this is a fine hand. How's your hand looking?
My hand looks pretty good. I got 3 lands. I got a Soulscar Mage as a 1-drop, and then I got a few spells to hopefully get some damage in the early turns. So that's what we want to do.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you're starting us off.
All right, we're going to play Stomping Ground untapped to 18 and play Soulscar Mage and pass.
Cool, Soulscar Mage. All right, I'm going to draw.
Play many a Soulscar Mage in my time.
All right, I'm just going to play Force, and I'm going to commune with the dinosaurs. Let's see, top 5. Or is I call it Ancient Stirrings. I'm going to go ahead and grab Castle Garenbrig. That's an easy grab. So, I will pass to you.
All right, untap and draw. Gonna go ahead and play Crag Crown Pathway on red. Gonna play a Monastery Swift Spear. And then we're gonna put Audacity onto Swift Spear. Trigger Prowess on both of the guys. We're gonna attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm in danger. Alright, I'm at 14.
I'll pass the turn.
Alright, untap. Draw. Not quite what we wanted. This is interesting. I think. See, at this point, I gotta be kind of as quick as I can. So let's go ahead and play the Castle Garenbrig, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cast Sylvan Scrying. I'm gonna search for a land and put it in my hand. So I'm gonna grab a Sunken Citadel. It's gonna go right to my hand. I'm gonna pass to you.
All right. I'm gonna untap and draw.
Draw.
Gonna play Stomping Grounds untap to 16.
Oh, I'm really in danger.
Math is gonna be for blockers, I think. Here.
Okay.
We're gonna.
Except I'm not blocking.
Lay with Fire. Triggers.
So I'm gonna 12. Yep, one prowess trigger.
And then we're gonna Tarkus Command. I'm gonna triggers. I'm gonna deal you 3 and give my creatures +1/+1 until end of turn.
Okay, so I'll go to 9.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kill you.
All right. Woo, that was a good game. Sweet. I love a Tarkus Command. I feel like it doesn't see a lot of play anymore, but man, I've always loved a Tarkus Command.
Drawing the Swift Spear on my second turn there to go Swift Spear Audacity, that was like the perfect top.
What's great with the Tarkus Command is it's literally, so you deal the 3 damage, but then like you have your prowess creature, so then it's 4, and then you give them +1/+1, so then it's 5. So it's literally 5 damage for 2 mana, which is just awesome.
Yeah, because Swift Spear was 6, so that would have been 7, 8, 9, 10 damage there, so that would have got you for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what the deck wants to do. It was that exact thing right there.
Okay, sweet. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle up for game number 2. It's going to be a pre-boarded game, and then after game 2, it'll be post-board. So we'll see you in just a second. All right, so we are back for game number 2. I'm on the play because I died on turn 3, which, not gonna lie, was pretty awesome. So my hand's looking all right. I got a couple big dinosaurs. I've got the Archdruid's Charm and a Sunken Citadel. So, I mean, this is about exactly what we want. So how's your hand looking?
It's a little bit slower than last time. I got a few lands. I do have a couple of Questing Druids this time around to maybe draw into some stuff to be able to get things going for me, but I'm still going to keep this.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, I'm going to play a Sunken Citadel. I'm going to name green. Pass to you.
Draw. We are going to play Stomping Ground untapped to 18 and play Soulscar Mage. Go ahead.
Soulscar Mage. All right. That was a horrible draw. I'm just going to play a tapped Stomping Ground. Pass to you.
Tap, draw. Play a Mountain. I'm going to attack you for 1.
Yeah. And the blocks, 19.
And then we are going to plot a Slickshot Show-Off and pass the turn.
Plotting. All right. I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw.
Draw.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and play a forest. I'm going to pass to you.
Oh, I don't like that. I'm going to untap and draw. We are going to play a Carplusian Forest. Suppose. Going to cast the Slickshot Show-Off.
Gross.
Going to pay 1 green to 17. Put an Audacity onto Slickshot Show-Off. Triggers. Move to combat attack.
Yeah, so it'll be, what is this, 3, or it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Before damage?
Mm-hmm.
A Tarkus Command?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so 8, 9, 10. I'm assuming you're giving the 1, 1.
Yeah, I'm going to do 3.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, I'll go 4.
Go ahead.
All right, so end step. I'm going to play an Archdruid's Charm.
Yep.
I'm going to search for a land, and I'll put it into play. Well, because it's a land. If its creature goes in your hand. Okay, so... Because that'd be 16. Okay, so I could, like, Hail Mary and grab a Sunken Citadel. Which, I don't think that's going to work. Because if I do the Sunken Citadel... I don't even know what I could do here. Because I think I might as well just do that. I'm trying to think if there's any other outs I could have, but I don't think there is. So let's just grab exactly that. If I can find another Sunken Citadel. Where are they at? There we go. Okay. So I'll grab another Sunken Citadel. I'll name green. Shuffle. This is why I don't like fetch lands.
Yeah.
Is that for you? All right. Let's see what we can do here. I think I'm probably just dead, but all right. Let's draw. Drew another land, and we didn't draw that. So, like, if this was if I would have grabbed the Garenbrig, I could go land, and then I could go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could play a T-Rex, but unfortunately it doesn't have reach. So, yeah, that's game. All right. Man, another fast start. That Slickshot show off.
I drew the Slickshot. I drew the Slickshot on turn 2, and I was like, man, I think this also kills quite quick.
Okay, all right. Well, 2 rocket fast games here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready for sideboarding here. So it'll be just a second. We'll get back to you in just a moment. All right, so we are here for sideboarding. So we're going to go ahead and go over what we're bringing in and what we're taking out, and we're going to give a quick explanation as to why. So Hunter, I'll let you go ahead and start. What are you bringing in? What are you taking out, and why?
So in the general sense, you know, if I sat down game 1 and saw you go turn 1 Commune, turn 2 Sylvan Scrying, but didn't see anything else afterwards, I would like to assume that you're going to be playing big creatures, but I don't really know how many of what or what it may be. So I'm just going to bring in 3 Witchstalker Frenzies, just because with the amount of creatures I can attack with, I can turn this into 1 mana really fast. And I'm just going to cut a Burning Tree Emissary and 2 of my 1-drop spells just to kind of trim a little bit of random things to be able to fit these in. Nothing super fancy.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely dig it. So, all right, this is what I'm bringing in. So I'm bringing in Obstinate Balots. This is not really the intended matchup, so pretty much for Obstinate Baloth. It's really more for like Waste Not, and like the double dipping is you can bring it against aggro, because just like a 4/4 for 4 gaining 4 is really not bad. So I'm cutting a T-Rex and a Hulking Raptor. Hulking Raptor, I'd much rather would have the Baloth. It's got the more toughness to it. It gains me life. It's just kind of better in this terms. The one T-Rex, not quite the matchup for it. I don't want to cut any of the Pilates Hatchers or the Register Alphas just because that's kind of part of the combo. And then I'm also bringing in 3 Flame Sweeps. So the tricky thing with this deck is you don't want you don't want board wipes that have like more than like 2 pips of non-green for the most part. So that's why I think Flame Sweep is the best option. It's mostly for like Boros Convoke in lower to the ground aggro decks, which this does count. There is some ways you can get me with like an Atarkus command, which, you know, most of the time with Flame Sweep, I'm going to be casting this on my turn. Like I'm just going to, unless you have like a bird plotted, like I'm just going to Flame Sweep on my turn. And I'm cutting 3 Carnage Tyrants because, again, this is just not, it's not the matchup for Carnage Tyrant. I can't get it down early enough to be able to be a good blocker for the most part. And you're not playing a ton of removal to the point where you'll be able to, you're not going to be able to like 1-for-1 a Carnage Tyrant. You're not a controller mid-range deck. So I just think that this is like the worst card in the deck as it currently stands in this matchup. So, well, that's pretty much all we're doing here for sideboarding. We're going to go ahead and shuffle up for game number 3. All right, so we're back for game number 3. I am on the play once again. My hand is looking pretty solid. I've got a Castle Garenbrig, a Sunken Citadel in my hand. I got a Commune and some Charms. So, I mean, this is about as good as it's going to get. How's it looking for you? I
got 2 1-drops, 2 spells, and 3 lands. It's everything that I could ever ask for out of this deck at this point.
Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. So, I'll go ahead and play Sunken Citadel in green. Go ahead.
All right, going to draw. Gonna go to 18 already for a Stomping Ground and play Kumano.
Kumano!
Deal you 1. Pass the turn.
All right. Tap and draw. Not a great draw. I will Commune with Dinosaurs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh gosh. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm just gonna grab a Sunken Citadel, and I'll play it as green, and I'll pass to you.
Untap, draw. That goes to 2. I'm gonna play a land for turn. Play a Monastery Swiftspear with a counter on him from the Kumano.
Get Swifty.
Yeah, we're going to have to just do this now. We're going to Monstrous Rage onto the Swiftspear.
Yeah.
Put this on here for the monster roll token. So trigger, so we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I made a monster roll here.
I should have grabbed mine.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the tokens earlier, but let me see. Monster. I have the rolls. Maybe it's under R.
Got mine.
Wicked Monster. Okay, perfect. There we go. I was going to say, just found the one. I was trying to remember what it was under. If it was under Monster or if it was under Roll. But all right, so you're attacking for
5, I believe is what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what
6? Okay. 6. I'm at 13.
Go ahead.
All right. I would love an untapped green here. And we didn't draw an untapped green. Oh, let's see here. I am just going to... I'm going to cast a Sylvan Scrying. Search for a land, put it in my hand. So I think the best thing I can actually grab, because I have the Garenbrig in my hand. Well, it's tricky, because that's 6.
It's tricky.
It's tricky. I think... Because I don't even have gold. I think the best thing to do here is just to grab the 1 of Commercial District, and I'm going to go ahead and play that. So then I'm going to go ahead and Surveil.
Surveil.
Okay, there's that for you.
Oh, you're solid.
Okay, all right, we'll go ahead and Surveil. I do not want the 3rd Sunken Citadel.
Probably not.
All right, I'll go ahead and pass to you.
All right, I'm going to untap and draw. Gonna flip my Kumano here. I mean, I suppose we're gonna just play this instead of hold on to it now. And I'm gonna just go ahead and cast an Atarkus command.
Yeah.
Trigger. I'm gonna deal you 3 damage and give my creatures +1/+1 until end of turn.
I'll go to 10.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. Yes, I will go to 2.
I will pass the turn to you.
All right, I think we need a little bit of a miracle here. I don't think that was the miracle. So, I have 7 mana, but I don't think this really does anything. Because I can do... I can make 6, 7... That just makes 7. I could do that. I think I have to kind of Hail Mary this a little bit. So let's do this. Let's just go... let's go Commune with Dinosaurs. I'll look at the top 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, that was brutal. That actually would have been perfect, but I don't have... Because I can go 1, 2, do that there. Yeah, that actually sinks because I don't have another red. Because I could have grabbed this to just have ultimate chump blockers and get the red to Sir Alpha. And then you're at 2, so I can make 6 green. Play this, but then I don't have anything else, and then I'm at 2. So yeah, all right. That's game.
Oddly enough, though, I do want to say this. I boarded in the Witchstalker's Frenzy. There would have been a 2 out of 3 chance this could have been one of those 1-drop spells. And
oh, sure, yeah.
There for the other turn free, I had 2 Atarkus commands in my hand still.
Right. Okay, all right. Well, man, these have been some quick games, man. I feel like I haven't had to do a lot of critical thinking here, which has been kind of nice. So, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and shovel up for our final game. Game number 4. We'll see you in just a second. All right, so we're back for game number 3. I'm on the plate once again. I'm seeing, all right, I'm already down 3-0. Let's see if we can finish with a win here. My hand is all right. It's a little land heavy, but I do have I got the sweeper in my hand, which is going to be pretty huge. And then I've got a hammer skull, so it's looking all right. How's your hand looking?
I've got 1 land, but we've got a lot of 1-drops. So we're just going to kind of hopefully roll with the punches here and see what happens and be a little bit risky.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'm going to go ahead and play something. I'm going to name red with this one. Go ahead.
My.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
I'm going to play a Carplusion Forest, and we're going to both be at 19.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead.
All right, let's draw. Let's see if we can get something good. Not quite it, but I will go ahead and play a forest, and I'll pass.
I'm going to untap and draw. Put that there. Still not getting where we want, so we're going to go to 18, play a Swift Spear, get a counter from Kumano here. I'm going to attack you for 2.
All right, I'll go to 17.
Pass the turn.
All right, I'll go ahead and draw another land, which was not great for us, but I'll go ahead and play a Sunken Citadel, and then I'm going to go ahead and play a Pugnacious Hammer Skull.
Yeah, that'll do
Go ahead.
something. I'm going to untap and draw.
Nice big body there.
Flip. And play a land for turn here.
I think it's like the first like real creature I've actually cast.
Yeah, actually it really is. I think I'm gonna play a Monastery Swift Spear, and I'm gonna move to combat and attack you with everything.
Okay, I'll block the Swift Spear.
And I will pay myself for a red and Monstrous Rage to be able to trade, and then trigger prowess there.
Okay. I'm assuming I won't take any trample.
No, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, perfect.
So they trade, and then you'll take 4.
So yep, go to 13, and then is it just combat dealt by a source you control?
So
Okay, so it is exiled. Okay. All right,
And
then I'm
you're-
at 13.
Yep, and you go.
All right, draw. All right, so I think I just got to do this now while the getting's good. I'm going to go ahead and pay 3. I'll go ahead and Flame Sweep. Sweep them away. Main reason doing that is just because of Atarka's command. If you play a non-creature, the Swift Spear will survive, so I just want to do that now. So go ahead.
Nope, that is the best time to do that. But we're going to go ahead and just plot a bird and pass. Bird is the word.
All right, let's see what I got here. So I could make 1, 2, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I could do 7 here. Let's do it. So I'll make 7. So this is 4 right here. And then 7. I'm going to go ahead and play a Hulking Raptor and a Hammer Skull.
All right.
Go ahead.
Gonna untap and draw. Interesting. Interesting developments.
It's gonna not die.
How risky do I want to be?
That's a good question.
You know, I think we'll be a little risky. I'm gonna go ahead and plot another bird and pass.
I'm so scared. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. There's a couple draws I have where if I draw, like, I actually just win. Let's see if I can draw something decent, though. Draw. This might have been it. Hulking Raptor, I'll make 2 green. Is this it? Because I go 3... 1, 2, 3, 4. Guys, I'm trying to figure out if this is it right here. Because if I go... So I have 2 green in my mana pool. Go 3... Did I play land for turn? No, I did not. Okay, so 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god. So, and this is okay. So I have 3 green, Archmage's Charm. I'm gonna search for a creature, and then I'm gonna grab Tyrannax Rex, and then I've got 1, 2. Well, I got a land in. I got a cavern. So dinosaur 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tyrannax Rex. And then it has haste.
Yeah, that'll be enough to kill me.
Oh my god! I needed. What was in your hand? I'm curious.
Enough to kill you next turn.
Okay.
With the double Kamanos. I needed, if I would have, I drew a bunch of the 1-drops and everything. I drew the 2 birds, and I needed one of those to be a land to be a little bit faster. But I kept the one land hand to risk it all. But yeah,
I think your hand was still really good. To be fair, it was just the fact that like I needed to draw basically, well, because it was 17. So it would have had to been, because assuming it wasn't this, it would have been 11. So yeah. I think only Tyrannax Rex or Charm was my outs. I don't think I had any other outs in that instance.
Yeah, in the dark, this doesn't kill me, and I can't kill you if I just play the Slickshot and double Kamano this turn. It only puts you to like 3 or 4 from what the math I did, because it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, not even that. So it didn't kill you, so that's where if I plotted the bird next turn, it would have killed you my next turn. But yeah, you got the good draw on there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I suppose I'll let you get one.
Right, yeah. Give me my one
Give me
win.
one.
So, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to decideboard here, and then we're going to talk about this. I actually forgot to mention this at the end here, well, at the beginning. So we're going to kind of talk about our decks overall. There's usually 3 things we go over, which I'll talk about that in a moment. But don't go anywhere. We have the post-match analysis and stuff like that. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a second. All right, so we are back for the post-match analysis. So a couple things that we're going to go over. So the first thing is we'll just kind of, from like our point of views, like talk about the match as a whole. The second thing we're going to talk about is how the deck would fare in the overall metagame as it stands currently, which it has changed a lot since the last time we have filmed one of these. And then the third thing we're going to talk about is what hypothetical cards or like reprints that would make our deck a little bit better. So I guess, Hunter, did you want to start that off, or?
Yeah, I can. Here, give me just a second. I'm actually going to look up what the meta game for Pioneer is right now, just to see how different it really is. All right, so the top 3 decks in Pioneer right now are Rakdos Vampires, Izzet Phoenix, and Abzan Amalia combo.
That sounds about right.
So that is what the meta is looking to be kind of at the moment. So, I guess to start off with the match. Obviously, the match went great for me.
Yeah, 3-1.
I mean, that's what the deck really wants to do, though, is it wants to prey on a lot of these, like, mid-rangey, not very removal-heavy decks that are kind of floating around the meta to where you can just go 1-drop, 2-drop, kill you on turn 3. Obviously, you can kind of see where if, you know, like on the last game, you had the Pugnacious and then the other dude, which kind of set you to be able to, like, hold the board down, the Flame Sweep and everything like that was also nice to have for you on your end. So there are good ways to combat the deck with decks like yours, but I do definitely like the matchup on my end just because I kind of want to play against decks like this with this deck because it's just like, go fast, and if you don't do anything the first 2 turns or interact, you're kind of dead.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, 100%. What's funny with like with this deck is like it's like a weird hybrid. Like it reminds me of like modern Tron because you want to assemble the right lands, but in a way, it's almost a combo deck. So I unfortunately didn't get to do the whole Galta Stampede Tyrant. You know, put in like Palani's Hatcher, Regisaur Alpha, a T-Rex, and then just like attack for like 30. I didn't get to do that thing, which it almost reminds me of, I'm trying to think, you remember like the old Counters Company deck where they were trying to assemble the combo, but like if they couldn't assemble the combo, they would just like beat you down with like a bunch of like 3/2s, you know, with Gavany Township. That's kind of what this deck reminded me of in a way. It's just like, all right, well, we don't have the combo. I guess we'll just like we'll just do a beatdown kind of thing. But it's weird because then it's like a big, you know, it's like all these large creatures and stuff like that. So it's definitely, it's interesting for sure. Overall, I think the deck, at least because I've never actually piloted this deck before. I've obviously seen Tarzan at RFE Games played the deck quite a bit. So I knew like the different play patterns and such like that. But it definitely is much different than my traditional dinosaur decks I like to play, just because, you know, I'm a lot more lower to the ground. Like, other than Galta, which I don't count Galta as a 12-drop. It's really more of a 2-drop in a way. But, like, the curve for me, like, stops at 5, and we're just trying to play a nice, like, curve of creatures along the way. So, all right, so that's the first thing. The second thing we're going to talk about is how our decks would fare in the overall metagame. So, Hunter, I'll let you go ahead and talk about it from here.
I think it would fare fairly decent in the metagame. In a full-fledged metagame with maybe like Rakdos and Izzet Phoenix being really high up in the meta, like percentage as they are, you could probably afford to change the deck list around a little bit to maybe fit like some Blossoming Defenses or Tyvar stands into the main if you're going to like a super comp event. But other than that, I think it's something that can be really, really good in the meta, in my opinion. Slickshot Show Off like has insane amounts of power to it, and Atarka's Command as a dollar card is still sneaky good for Pioneer. So I don't think it's anything that's going to be like tier 0.5 or tier 0 or anything like that, but like tier 2, tier 1.5, you can always kind of like tune it to your meta game around where you're at as well. And I think it could be a viable option for sure.
Yeah, I think as of right now, if you're someone that likes playing like Monster Swift Spear or like red aggro decks, I think that like Gruul Slickshot is the best version of that deck you could currently play. I think like just with sorry, it's such a tongue twister. Slickshot Show Off, and like especially with accompanying all the green cards, like you're not playing it for the green. You're just like you can just play a second color because you can, and green is typically the best option. Like you said, you got the Tarkus Command, you got the Blossoming Defense if you want it, you got Audacity, but the biggest one I feel like is Pick Your Poison in the sideboard is just gigantic. I mean, it's huge.
And then you also have, with picking up green instead of, say, like blue, for like a lot of people like to swing towards blue because you can filter through a lot different ways. Green helps you go a little bit bigger, like with Audacities and the Autarkus commands, but honestly, Questing Druid.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't get to play it at all because, like, this was not a very Questing Druid matters kind of matchup, but there have been a lot of games that I have played with Questing Druid in other formats or in other games where sometimes the game goes long and you cast a Seek the Beast and Questing Druid the next turn, and you just win with like a 10-10 Questing Druid two turns later. So that card is also, like, in my opinion, very underrated for the Pioneer format and in Standard for that matter.
I do like Questing Druid. I think the card is sweet. I mean, who'd have guessed a Kyrian Dryad with like was it Reckless Impulse or whatever? Or not Reckless Impulse, Ren's Resolve or whatever you want to call it. Oh yeah, it is Reckless Impulse. Yeah, on staple onto it is pretty darn good. So
pretty good.
But yeah, I agree. I think it definitely wasn't the matchup for the matchup for this. Like for it, like you're the aggro deck, like you just want to like kill me as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Which Questing Druid is more of like a long term like value engine kind of thing.
Pretty much.
So, but yeah, anyways, at least for like the overall metagame with this deck is, I think it 100%, like whether or not you want to play this at like your FNM or even, try to take it to like a regional championship qualifier, I think a lot of it comes down to is what does the metagame look like? In the current metagame, there's not a crazy amount of aggro. I've went to like 4 RCQs this season, and I can say that most of the time there's not a lot of aggro. Like the decks that I've been playing against is, like you said, Amalia combo, Is It Phoenix, and Rakdos Vampires, and also a lot of Quintorius combo. So
yeah, there's also a lot of Nykthos roaming around still too.
Yes. So, I mean, in terms of aggro, there's not a lot, which is great. But the downside to this deck is, and it has nothing to do with the construction, it's just every deck like has downsides, positives and negatives. This deck really struggles with aggro. I mean, it took me to be able to take a game. You had to have a rough hand. I had to have a 6/6 blocker, followed by a board wipe, followed by 2 big fatties, and then a top deck. So, I mean, the stars had to align to be able to win the game. Which, that being said, like, it's okay if aggro is not a great matchup, or really mid-range or even control, based on whatever deck you're playing. But just know that, when the decks that you're trying to play against, like, how to navigate them. That's the most important thing. If you're playing a deck that's not quite as strong as the other decks, as long as you know how to navigate the specific matchup, you can generally at least get some decent wins as long as your draws are not completely abysmal. So,
yeah, that is very true.
But yeah, as far as the metagame goes, I'd have to play this against a lot of the number of different decks, but I have to imagine just with Cavern of Souls, Carnage Tyrant, and T-Rex, this deck just absolutely slaps control. It's probably not even close.
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably. Like, I feel like it would probably be really good against Control, and potentially it might be good against Phoenix, because, like, Phoenix doesn't have a lot of, like, you're not playing low-to-the-ground stuff that Phoenix wants to, like, interact with and then bring the Phoenixes back. So, like, by the time they're turning, like, their Treasure Cruises into spells into putting Phoenixes on the board, you're at the point where you have, like, that 5, 6, 7 man, and you're like, here's a Hammer Skull, have fun wasting, 2.5 burn spells on it to get rid of it,
Right.
Or,
exactly.
And then by the time they get to maybe that small interactions, they're turning through the deck, you're just like, do the thing. Boom.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
what are you going to do?
Right. So, okay, and then the last thing we're going to talk about is like a hypothetical card or a reprint that would help the deck as it currently stands. So, Hunter, I'll let you go ahead and take this one.
Obviously there is a couple, as the burn player will always say, give me Bolt, give me Bolt. But in all actuality, for a deck like this, I think a good card would be, since we already have Audacity getting like Raincore into the format, that would probably be the hypothetical non-bolt card that would be good for the deck, because having 2 of those effects, like, imagine going Plot Bird, going Raincore Audacity, Play with Fire U, and it's it seems a little like perfect stars aligning draw, but there's situations where it could happen, and having the second effect like Audacity for your smaller creatures to be able to push in that damage would also be really nice.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm in Camp Raincore, by the way, too. I do play some decks that would definitely play Raincore, but I am in Camp Raincore for sure. At least for it coming into Pioneer. So at least for this deck, hypothetical cards that are not in the format that would make it better. The first one that comes to mind, and I think that this is there's no way to take crazy advantage of it, is Amulet of Vigor. I don't think there's any way that Amulet of Vigor would be broken in this format, at least that I can think of, because there's no bounce lands or anything like that. So you probably would want that, so that way you can play your you can play your Sunken Citadel on your Garen Briggs. You wouldn't need a forest for Garen Briggs to come and untap. You could just go turn 1, Amulet, turn 2 Sunken Citadel on green, grab my Sylvan Scrying, so I can then play my Garen Brig untapped or something. I don't know. That's the only card that I could immediately think of that would maybe make the deck stronger. I'm trying to think, because the thing is with this deck is it also just came out Lost Caverns of Ixalan is where a lot of the cards are from. So the deck already got, basically is constructed from Lost Caverns of Ixalan. So it's kind of what really other good additions could happen that would make the deck better? I don't really know. I don't think there's really that many for the most part.
No, because then it kind of puts you in the same position as this deck, it's... Yeah, there is a lot of cards in Modern that would make this deck better, but it would also make the state of Pioneer abysmal if we put those cards into Pioneer. So
yeah.
It's kind of in that weird state of it's just slowly fine-tuning it to the meta and kind of breaking it down like that,
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm not just in the camp where it's oh yeah, we need X broken card in this format so we can play Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. I don't want Hypergenesis or anything weird that.
Oh yeah, that's the last thing that we would need in this
Hypergenesis, Ghalta. Oh yeah, Pioneer's a great format, but
yeah, no kidding.
But anyways, that's everything I've got. Do you have anything else to add in terms of the format or the matches today?
No, I think that kind of covers everything, man. I do think so.
Okay, perfect. Well, Hunter, thanks so much for joining me on this episode. I'm so glad we were finally able to do an episode
yeah,
again.
Same here.
We had been talking about it for months, and it just never worked out. And then, so we're recording this video on a Tuesday, and I was thinking all right, I don't have anything going on Tuesday. At least my regular job, I'm not working that day. And I was I should probably talk to Hunter to see if he wants to do an episode. And then you text me hey, what are you doing Tuesday? I'm oh man, we're doing this.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
It is happening. So anyways, thanks so much for watching this video. The deck lists are in the description below if you'd like to check it out for yourself. And I also have a link for Arfie Games' YouTube channel there. He plays this deck pretty much every night on stream. So definitely check out his channel. And huge shout out to our channel members. I can't think of all of them right now immediately, but I will have them on the end screen there toward the end. So I'm Commander Crane. That's Hunter. Thanks for watching this video, and we hope to catch you in the next one.